Hi everyone, welcome back to Christopher's Models and Dioramas. Well, it's been a while since I made a last video, and a lot going on, but no big deal. Um, I started on another build here that's going to start to finish, but I did this one a little different because I'm running a little bit low on my polystyrene foam. Instead of putting that on top of this wood and sculpting it to shape, then putting plaster over it, I'm going to use a straight plaster overlay on top of this chunk of scrap wood. In order to get it to stick to this piece of wood, I went and did two different layers of plaster with two different types of glue. Now, the first layer of plaster was mixed with wood glue to get it to stick to the wood. Now, I roughed up the wood to give it some kind of fibers to the glue and the plaster to soak into. And I let that dry, and I looked for cracks. Any cracks that came up, I was able to patch and fill by using a craft stick like this, which is actually just a corn dog stick that I reshaped by trimming it down and mixing the plaster, and then just pouring it in, then using this craft stick to fill in the gaps and let it dry. The second layer was basically just craft glue mixed with plaster with a really light layer, and I'll let that set too. Now that provides a double bonding. I've spoke about this in previous videos, and it will prevent a lot of the cracking that would happen later on. And then on top of that, after it dried for about a week to 2 weeks, depending on the humidity and the environment you live in, you want to pay attention to it. If it's warmer and moister in some places, it's going to take longer. If it's colder and drier, it's still yet going to cause you problems. So pay attention to the amount of humidity. Most craft plaster and plaster Paris has a chart on the bottom of it or somewhere around it, or you can always look it up to tell you to check the humidity levels and how it should go about from there. Then on top of that, I went ahead and made my base layer, marked out where my water line is going to be for where I'm going to put the cattails and other debris. Yes, this will have a water scene as usual. And then I have it figured out remotely guessing where I'm going to put the trees and small bushes. And this time, like I spoke about last time, these are from some shrubs, hedges that were going to be thrown away, and I repurposed and recycled them and soaked them in a mixture of uh, rubbing alcohol and craft glue. Now, the reason for that is that the rubbing alcohol will cause the fibers to expand and get a little soft, and then the glue will soak into that and it will preserve the tree. Now, some people say that's a lot of headache to go through just for something that may not last for a very long time when you can go out and buy it, but which is true. But if you have the chance to actually do something like this, do it, because it provides you a way to add something other than the generic tree look, a little bit of variety in your build, which is always a good thing, and an opportunity for you to expand on your skill set, which is I highly recommend. If you get a chance to go forward in something, experiment with a new technique in your diorama and model building, uh, do it. You won't regret it. It's part of the learning about all about the hobby, and that's what my channel is about, teaching you different ways to save money and have fun at the same time. So in about a week, maybe two, I'm going to show you how to turn these into trees for the builds, and using the same stuff I use for the ground flocking, which is model railroad scenery material, flocking, and a combination of inexpensive flocking that I use, and I'll give you the recipe for it so you can use it as you want. So until next time, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're ready for spring and a nice summer. And remember, if you're not getting a little bit messy in your builds, you're not having as much fun as you ought to. Take care.